I mean, it just starts with one thing. For me, it was passion. You know, I'd spent so many years focusing on growing great corporations and great businesses that I kind of lost a little bit of my passion for what I was doing. When I realised that, you know, through my time and being quite young at what I did, I learned a lot of great lessons along the way. And you know, for the last 10 years or so, I've been asked, you know, can I share some of my things and teach people, you know, a lot of the lessons that I learned. I believe that the number one mistake that most salespeople make is that we are driven by one human emotion, which I think unravels your entire business. Every time we enter in a situation with anybody, the number one thing we're looking for is instant gratification. We don't want to put the time and effort in that it takes to actually build that relationship strong enough to get the deal. It's unfortunate, but it's a world that we've been brought up with everything now from the internet, shopping online, everything that we can possibly do drives us to have a subconscious belief that everything's got to give us instant results. Unfortunately, relationship building has never changed over the years. It is something that takes time to build, but the end result is a lot more long term and it'll give you far better results in the long run. I mean, if I go and sit with somebody for an hour and I do a coaching session with them or I help them out with part of their business, we can spend an hour together finding out everything we need to know about each other, and then we can leave and 3 months later we're none the wiser, our friendship or our relationship hasn't grown. But if I interact with that person once a week for the next 3 months, by the end of it we're going to be friends. You know, frequency of contact builds strength in relationships. If you could mentally pretend that you were trying to date everybody that you were trying to do business with, you'd actually talk and deal with them completely different. I'll give you a perfect example. You know, when you meet that person for the first time or that you go on your first date, you do everything in that situation to find a reason to call them back, find a reason to remember them. You're on time, you dress right, you remember things about them. It's just a shame that people in the sales business don't operate under the same philosophies. So if you want to build a phenomenal sales business, the art of that is building a relationship strong enough with them that when the opportunity comes that they want to do something with your business, that you become top of the shopping list, someone that is someone they would consider doing that transaction with. That takes time. That takes 3, 4, 5 different interactions before you actually get that opportunity. Okay, I used to believe that the worst human emotion you could have was desperation. I mean, if you're ever dealing with somebody that gives you an emotion of desperation, it drives us to negotiate harder. I've actually changed the way that I think about that now, and I don't actually believe that desperation is the worst emotion you can have. I actually now believe that the worst human emotion you can have is hope. I mean, everybody needs a bit of hope. But having hope as a salesperson or someone that's trying to achieve phenomenal success in your life is the worst thing you can have, because it's the number one thing that drives inaction. It's the number one thing that'll stop you from doing what you need to do every day to be successful. If you hope things are going to change, but you're not prepared to get off your butt and do something different to actually physically make that happen in your life or in your business.